Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're building or scaling anything in the healthcare space right now, you already know the stakes are incredibly high. Today, we're keeping a strict, laser-like focus on identifying true clinical-grade telemedicine development partners for 2026. Let's be clear up front. We aren't looking at basic app builders today. We are looking at the heavy hitters, the partners who can handle actual, real-world healthcare infrastructure, complex integrations, and some of the strictest regulatory environments on the planet. Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the telemedicine quality divide. So, here's the blunt reality of the market right now. Telemedicine platform development is severely split into two completely distinct tiers. The gap between them is massive, and honestly, falling on the wrong side of this divide can literally make or break your organization's future. You've got your Type 1 platforms. These are everywhere. You know the drill. An agency builds a basic video call feature, tacks on a simple scheduling module, slaps a telemedicine label on it, and calls it a day. But here is the trap. You usually only find out it's not actually HIPAA compliant when a rigid audit lands on your desk. Or your EHR integration just totally crashes under real patient load. And that's exactly when you don't want to find out, right? Or worse, a portal incident triggers a massive breach notification. No thanks. On the flip side, you have Type 2 platforms. This is true clinical-grade infrastructure. These are companies that natively speak complex HL7 and FHIR protocols. They are actively integrating with giants like Epic, Cerner, and Allscripts. They build with the exact access controls and audit logging that HIPAA enforcers actually look for. And their references? They aren't generic tech startups. They're real healthcare organizations. So for the rest of this explainer, we are completely ignoring Type 1. It's Type 2 or nothing. Moving right along to Section 2, our top 5 development agencies. So who are the players that can actually deliver this kind of quality? We've put together a highly structured showcase of 5 rigorously vetted agencies that have actually delivered production-ready platforms under real clinical constraints. Let's kick things off with DBB Software. Now, what's really interesting about their approach is how they handle security. Notice their very first key strength. They build HIPAA and GDPR compliance into their architecture literally from Sprint 1. It's not some afterthought checklist they scramble to fix at the end. Based out of Krakow, Poland, they offer a highly competitive rate of $25 to $49 an hour, and they are an absolute AWS native powerhouse. They've built production platforms for organizations like Doctify, handling doctor bookings across 12 countries, and Dispatch Health, where they manage on-demand medical care that requires real-time care team routing under strict HIPAA controls. Oh, and their AI capabilities? Built natively too, spanning everything from symptom triage models to natural language processing for clinical notes. If you need full-cycle development with compliance baked in from the very first line of code, DBB is incredibly strong. Next up, we have Topflight Apps. Think of these guys as your premium institution-grade choice. I mean, their verified client list kind of speaks for itself. Stanford Medicine, Cleveland Clinic, Medibol. We are talking about production platforms operating in highly regulated clinical environments, not just flashy demo apps. That list proves they have deep expertise in both HIPAA and strict FDA 21 CFR Part 11 compliance. Now, at a higher price point of $100 to $149 an hour, they definitely aren't for shoestring early-stage teams. But if you're a U.S. healthcare provider, a well-funded digital health founder, or a medical device manufacturer who needs a platform that a rigid hospital IT board will actually approve without a massive fight, Topflight brings that verified top-tier pedigree. Okay, I want you to take a look at this number, 14. This represents 14-plus years of exclusive healthcare-only delivery by our next company. And guys, this is a massive differentiator in the software world. Zero shared engineering capacity with other verticals. No e-commerce, no fintech. Every single line of code they've written for 14 years has been purely for healthcare. That level of domain-only specialization belongs to Arkenea. They were actually named the best bespoke healthcare software developer for 2024 and 2025. They lean heavily into doctor-on-demand apps and possess incredibly deep clinical workflow knowledge. If you're a founder who needs developers that already speak the clinical language, like you don't have to explain to them how a patient encounter works or the difference between synchronous and asynchronous care, Arkenea is a fantastic fit. Now, to be fair, they aren't your go-to if you need massive enterprise scale, like a 250-plus engineer global rollout, but for specialized virtual care models, their focus is razor sharp. But hey, what if you do need that massive enterprise scale? That's where ntellectsoft comes in, bringing over 2,000 IT professionals to the table. And this brilliantly illustrates what separates them from standard video consultation shops, their focus on telerehabilitation.
They specialize in real-time motion tracking for physical therapy, exercise gamification to keep patients engaged, and biometric monitoring through wearables and IoT devices. For them, this is core platform architecture, not just an add-on. So for major hospital systems looking for sweeping digital health transformations backed by an 18-year track record, ntellectsoft provides the sheer scale and complex technical muscle needed to pull the whole shebang off.
Finally, rounding out our top 5 is Mobisoft Infotech. Their absolute superpower is remote patient monitoring, or RPM, and healthcare IoT, building secure, reliable connections to physical medical devices like glucometers, wearable cardiac monitors, and pulse oximeters, all under strict HIPAA controls. That is an incredibly specific architectural skill. You just don't get that kind of experience building standard video chat apps. They operate with a US headquarters but leverage a global delivery model out of India, which means they offer highly competitive pricing at $25 to $49 an hour. This makes them absolutely perfect for mid-market providers and startups that need advanced IoT and RPM capabilities, but without paying that premium enterprise price tag.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this all builds into our final platform comparison.
We've looked at 5 totally distinct heavy hitters today. And putting their data side by side like this reveals a really crucial takeaway. Whether you're a procurement officer or a startup founder, there is literally no single generic best agency on this list. There's only the best fit for your unique architecture. Think about it. If you need AI-powered symptom triage and HIPAA woven into your code from day one on AWS, DBB Software is your target. Need verified institution-grade delivery to appease a strict hospital IT board? Topflight Apps brings that Stanford pedigree. If you want a partner who has exclusively breathed healthcare workflows for over a decade, Arkenea is your pick. Deploying complex telerehab with motion tracking across a huge hospital network, ntellectsoft has the 2,000 engineer scale you need. And if your whole platform hinges on connecting physical medical devices for remote monitoring at a highly competitive rate, Mobisoft Infotech is the clear winner.
Ultimately, it all comes down to aligning their specialized edge with your core technical requirements. So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. Which specific strength matches the exact clinical-grade platform you are building? I challenge you to deeply evaluate your integration protocols, your specific compliance burdens, and your realistic scaling needs before you sign any development partner. Get crystal clear on your architecture first, and I promise you, the right partner from this list will naturally become obvious. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you on the next one.